Have you ever watched the movie Wrong Turn? Brutal creatures hiding in the woods, innocent people taking a wrong turn and meeting a horrifying end. You think it's just a movie? Just a fantasy, right? But today, I'm here to tell you the truth. This actually happened in real life, and it wasn't just a disappearance. It was a real nightmare. Can you imagine entering a forest and never being able to come back? No way to escape, no hope for help. Only darkness around you and an evil presence watching you. Jennifer Ertman and Elizabeth Peña faced this exact horror. They were innocent. They were just trying to get home. But that path led them to their deaths. And I'm here to tell you what really happened. But remember, this is not just a story. This is the truth. If you don't believe it, watch till the end. You will understand the terror those girls went through. Before I begin, please support the channel by liking the video, leaving a comment, and subscribing. Now, turn on your universe mode, because in this universe, no one can stop you from watching this video. Let me first introduce today's main characters, Jennifer Ertman and Elizabeth Peña, two young girls with bright futures ahead. Jennifer Lee Ertman was born on August 15, 1978. Elizabeth Christine Peña was born on June 21, 1977. They were students at Waltrip High School in Houston, Texas. Jennifer was 14, Elizabeth was 16. They were close friends and spent most of their time together. Jennifer's parents, Randy and Sandra Ertman, described her as caring and responsible. Elizabeth's parents, Adolfo and Melissa Peña, said she was full of life and joy. They both played basketball and had big dreams about their futures. On June 24, 1993, they were getting ready to attend a pool party at their friend's house. This party was in honor of Elizabeth's 16th birthday. Elizabeth's mother dropped them off at 8 p.m. Their parents reminded them to be home by 11:30 p.m. They always respected their parents' rules. That night, they also planned to follow the rules. They left the party exactly at 11:30 p.m. To get home, they had two options. The one, a longer, safer route through busy streets. Two, a shorter but more dangerous route through a local park and along a railway track. To save 10 to 15 minutes and avoid worrying their parents, they chose the second option. At that time, cell phones weren't common. They couldn't call home. They didn't know this shortcut would take them into darkness, into danger. That same night, a violent street gang called the Black and White Gang was having an initiation ritual in the woods. New members had to commit a violent act as part of their entry into the gang. At 4 a.m., Jennifer's mom noticed the light in her room was still on. Strange, since her daughter always turned it off before sleeping. She checked the room. Jennifer wasn't there. Panic began to rise. She tried calling Elizabeth's parents. No answer. She called the party host. No answer. They drove to Elizabeth's house. She wasn't there. Then they drove to the house where the party took place. The hosts said the girls left together at 11:30 p.m. Elizabeth's parents said they had also spent the entire night looking for the girls. Worried sick, the parents called the police. The officers took the disappearance seriously right away. The girls had left behind their personal belongings. They had no reason to run away. Flyers were printed. The search began. Friends and neighbors walked the streets, asking anyone if they had seen the two girls. But no one saw anything suspicious. 48 hours passed, still no trace. The families clung to hope, but the police began preparing for the worst. On the fourth day, the police department received an anonymous call. A man claimed he knew where the bodies were, in a wooded area behind a local field. Police rushed to the location, combed the forest, and eventually made a horrifying discovery. Two bodies, about 20 meters apart. They were naked, decomposed, and the scene was sickening. At first, it was impossible to even identify the victims due to the condition of the remains. There were drag marks and signs of struggle. Jennifer's father was being interviewed by a news station when he heard the news. In shock, he jumped in his car and raced to the crime scene. He tried to cross the police tape and begged to be let through. The police couldn't even answer basic questions like, What was the victim's hair color? Because the bodies were so damaged. But inside, they already knew it was Jennifer and Elizabeth. Autopsies confirmed it. 14-year-old Jennifer Ertman and 16-year-old Elizabeth Peña. The brutal heat and insects had ravaged their bodies in just 4 days. Crime scene evidence showed that this wasn't just murder. It was a vicious torture. The only solid lead was the anonymous call. Investigators traced it to the home of Joe and Peter Cantu, brothers. Joe confessed he made the call. He told police that his younger brother, Peter, and 5 friends had raped and murdered the girls, and bragged about it. At first, Joe wanted to keep it quiet, but his wife begged him to tell police. At least let the parents bury their daughters. Joe gave police permission to search the house. There, they found women's jewelry. The girls' parents confirmed it belonged to Jennifer and Elizabeth. DNA samples proved the girls had worn those items the night they were killed. Joe's testimony helped investigators piece together the horror. That night, after 11:30 p.m., the 2 girls walked into the park. There, they were approached by gang members Efrain Perez and Raul Villarreal. They were among 6 males, aged 14 to 18. The girls didn't know they had walked straight into a gang's territory. Raul blocked their path. Jose Medellin groped Elizabeth. When she slapped his hand, he pushed her down and dragged her up a gravel hill to the rest of the gang. Jennifer could have escaped, but she chose to stay and help her friend. Instead, both girls were overpowered. For over an hour, the 6 men brutally raped the girls. 14-year-old Venancio Medellin tried to stop them, but instead of leaving, he joined the attack. After the gang had finished, they weren't done. Knowing the girls could identify them, Peter Cantu ordered them to be killed. They took them into the woods. Jennifer was strangled with a belt so tightly it snapped. Elizabeth, still alive and begging for her life, even offering money, was stomped on with steel-toe boots. Her front teeth were shattered. Jennifer's ribs were broken. After killing them, the gang stomped on their necks to make sure they were dead. Peter Cantu gave Venancio a goofy watch he took from Jennifer, a Christmas gift from her parents, a symbol of her youth and innocence. The evidence was overwhelming. The police made sure none of the killers escaped justice. The courtroom was silent as each sentence was read. Peter Cantu, death. Derek O'Brien, death. Jose Medellin, death. Efrain Perez, life imprisonment. Raul Villarreal, life imprisonment. Venancio Medellin, 40 years due to being a minor. Jennifer's father couldn't remain calm in court. He tried to attack the killers. But even as justice was served, the pain remained. Nothing could bring the girls back. No punishment could heal the trauma. But at least the monsters were stopped. If you were there that night, what would you have done? Let us know in the comments. Follow us on other platforms.